Hi, guys. Welcome back to The Life of Lex, a podcast where I'm doing it for the culture. I'm your host, Alex, or Lex. Thank you guys for listening. I know that the podcast has been taking a little bit of a hiatus. It's been about 2 weeks now since I've actually recorded a podcast and uploaded, which is crazy. I missed recording. I must say that I really did miss doing this. But unfortunately, last week, the reason why I didn't record was just simply because I got really behind on schoolwork. I had like a family emergency. One of my family members passed away. I am okay. I don't need all the my condolences. I wasn't like extra close to her, so of course it's sad. Death is always sad, but like you know, it's not a thing where it's like everybody needs to be like my condolences. I'm so sorry. I am okay. I'm perfect. I'm fine. And also the third thing is, and this is kind of what I want to talk about right now, I made an Instagram. And actually, one of the biggest reasons why I did not do a new podcast last week is because I kind of came to the conclusion that I needed to regroup and reroute how I'm promoting this podcast. Because while I was getting mostly where I was promoting was Tumblr because I had about 14,000 followers on there. And I know that a lot of people would probably want to check out a podcast like mine. But the thing that I've learned about Tumblr is that while people will listen to the podcast isn't really growing through being listened to on Tumblr as much as I really would want to. And I just think that with Tumblr, it's such a closed off social media. A lot of people don't use Tumblr. And I've kind of started to realize I really don't want to use Tumblr, nor do I want Tumblr to be like my primary focus when I'm promoting. So that led me to creating an Instagram. I had actually been told a few times to create an Instagram. That's one of the best places to promote podcasts. The verdict is still out on that one because I just made my Instagram last week. But please go follow my Instagram page. It is the Life of Lex podcast. And on there, you will, of course, see anything about the podcast and anything about me because, I mean, duh. I'm not going to just post about the podcast all day. Like, I'll still post selfies. It'll still be like a regular Instagram. And then, of course, once the followers get up and stuff, there will be a lot of ways to interact with me through there. And I do want to make it kind of a lot of very interactive in terms of the episodes and stuff like that. So I do want to just say thank you so much to everybody who has stuck around. I know there's probably going to be people who just dropped the podcast because they were like, oh no. But thank you to anyone who is back. And I'm sure that I'll probably have a few new listeners due to me promoting on Instagram as well these days. So hello to anybody who is new. You can check out every back episode on the podcast website at thelifeoflex.libsyn.com. And also, you can check out streaming links. I am on Apple Podcasts. You can search up the Life of Lex podcast, or I would say SoundCloud, but I'm not going to be having every episode up on SoundCloud anymore. Long story. You can go back and listen to like a couple of episodes ago on what the SoundCloud deal will be. But yeah, just thelifeoflex.libsyn.com. And that's where you can find all the latest episodes. Oh, YouTube. I'm going to also be putting the audio to these on YouTube, so you can follow. You can find it there as well. So thank you so much to everybody who is listening. I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it, and thank you guys for being supportive. So I hope that you guys have had a pretty good week. I really do hope that you guys have been enjoying yourselves, enjoying your summers. Happy first day of summer. It was it was a couple of days ago on the 21st. Today it's the 23rd currently. So I'm a few days late, but happy summer. I hope you guys have been enjoying your summer. I hope you guys have been traveling. I'm always so upset that I can't travel during the summer because I don't have money and my family, well, first of all, my family is in shambles, but also my family doesn't ever travel because it's just not a thing. Not that I would want to travel with my family because that's not a fun experience either. Okay, anyways, let me stop shading my family on this podcast. But I hope you guys have been having a fantastic week. I hope you guys have been enjoying your summer. I am about done with my summer classes. They're online classes, so it's not like I have to like drag myself to class in the morning, but it is still a lot of work all at once. Like the one thing about summer classes is that everything just, or the online classes, is that everything piles in all at once, and I'm just like, ooh, okay. But other than that, I've really just been doing a lot of chilling. Oh my goodness, guys, I saw Incredibles 2 and it was amazing. It was worth the 15-year wait. I did not realize it has been 15 years. Right now I'm 21, so Incredibles 2 must have came out when I was 6, which that explains why I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. I'm not even gonna, I'm gonna keep it a stack. I didn't really remember the plot line of the first Incredibles movie, because I was like, it has been a while since I've actually watched this movie. But the second movie was a really good. It was very engrossing. I was actually shocked that it was a good movie because of course I was gonna see it just for old time's sake, but I didn't expect that I was actually gonna be into it like that. And it was really, really good. So I highly recommend going to see Incredibles 2. It's a really good plot line. It's really funny. If you do have epilepsy, though, I must put this message out here. If you do have epilepsy, there is a flashing light sequence in, like, the entire movie. So depending on what your epilepsy tolerance is and if you have high sensitivity to flashing lights, I would not recommend seeing this movie in the theater right now, but for anybody else, definitely go check it out. Definitely go check it out. Although if you have any sensitivity to flashing lights, no matter what, I would say just be very, very careful. Use your best judgment because the flashing light sequence is in the entire movie. So like, it's not even like it's one sequence where you can walk out and then come back in again. It's like throughout the movie. So it's going to be a little bit difficult, I think, to like walk out and walk in every single time it's on. Alrighty then. Let's just get into my hot takes for the week. But before I say that, please make sure that you are subscribing to the podcast. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, please subscribe. If you are listening on any other streaming service, please subscribe. I am working on getting the podcast on Spotify. We're not quite there yet, but I will definitely let you guys know that within the next couple of weeks. Hopefully it should be up very, very soon. And then I will be able to provide you guys with a Spotify link. But please also make sure to check out the show notes because there's where I'll put all my social media contact information, including my Instagram, which is the Life of Lex podcast, and other things. I also put everything that we're talking about for the week in the show notes. So you really want to check the show notes out because it can give you some good links, some good reference points, and a good contact period, a good place for contact. I apologize if my throat sounds a little bit clogged, by the way. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but I am not sick. I'm not sick. I don't know. It's probably my allergies is my guess, but we're gonna plug through and record this, and hopefully when I listen to this back, I'm not like, ooh, girl, that's a no. Alrighty, guys. I have a lot of rants for the week. This week's, like, main rant is about how black girl nerds exist too, because I'm tired of black women being put into a box in terms of our personalities, our interests, and our likes and wants. So we're going to talk about that in the second half of the show, though. In the first half, I only have a few events that happened this week, and all of them really evoked a very heavy reaction out of me for the most part. Most bad reactions, most good reactions. No, sorry, I said that wrong. Most bad reactions, some good reactions. So that's gonna be interesting. But let's talk about the good things first. So Beyonce, Giselle, Knowles Carter released a new album in joint with her husband, and I loved it. I'm actually not a big fan of her husband, but I love my girl B. And you know what? If everything is love, which is the name of the album, and sis is choosing to keep her man, then Okay, I'ma just have to accept that he gonna be around, he gonna be on the tour, he gonna be on the album. I like that song that's like, I'm good on any MLK Boulevard. I can't sing for shit. Alright, that was horrible. Or, don't gotta ask, you heard about us. Something, something, you heard about us. Alright, y'all gonna be like, girl. Anyways, my two favorite songs on it are Heard About Us and Black Effect. On the CD. So y'all should go listen to the album because it was actually pretty good. I gotta give it to them. It was good. And they was basically like, listen, stop worrying about us. We're fine. We got over it. So now y'all can get over it too. Beyonce was like, y'all gotta get the fuck over it because me and my man together. So stop clowning him on social media. All right, sis. If you're choosing to stay with your man, then that's fine. I did a bentonite clay hair mask. For those of you who follow me on Insta, you probably saw on my story that I was doing this hair mask and I wasn't sure how it was going to come out. I wasn't sure what I was expecting. A lot of people said that bentonite clay hair masks are very, very good for the hair because it's bentonite clay itself is very cleansing, and apple cider vinegar has a lot of cleansing effects as well. So the two of them together using a hair mask, it's supposed to really define curls, soften the hair, and clean the hair. For me personally, I'm not even one that's really big on like curl definition, but I do know that when my hair is like really, really clean, my hair is really defined. But I also don't ever wear my curls extremely defined because that requires putting a lot of heavy product in my hair, which I don't typically enjoy doing. So I'm not really sure why I'm like, oh my god, curl definition, knowing dang well I ain't about to wear defined curls because then I have to put gel in my hair, which I don't really like to put gel or anything. And I've tried a bunch of products. I've tried the kinky curly. My hair hates it. It's just, I don't know. I just really don't love it. My hair does not love it, but it is what it is because the bentonite clay hair mask, let me tell you guys about this. So first and foremost, I use henna. If you listen to a few episodes back, I used henna and I liked it. I loved it when I had first used it, but as I thought about it deeper, I probably will not be incorporating henna into my daily hair routine. It is just far too much work. I actually almost sliced my finger in half trying to prepare the henna. And honestly, it's super messy. It takes so much preparation for results that like are not like they're good results, but I feel like I've gotten similar results just by using a good deep conditioner blend. So I just feel like it's not really worth it. I still have a bunch of the henna in my freezer. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with it, but I just don't, and I mean, in terms of like the hair color dyeing, it did not change my hair color, at least not very much. Maybe it was a couple of shades darker, but it definitely didn't change my hair color, so. So I thought about using bentonite clay because I heard that bentonite clay gives similar results to henna, but it's not as intense for preparation, which is my favorite because y'all know your girl is always looking for the easiest method when it comes to hair care because I just hate spending hours and hours and hours on end trying to do my hair. It's just not my thing. So I tried the bentonite clay hair mask. I eyed all of the amounts. I don't know any exact sciences. I don't use like a measuring cup or anything. I literally just eye it. But I think it personally works best when it's the consistency of like a Greek yogurt, somewhere in there, like a yogurty type consistency, maybe a little thicker. Actually, mine was probably the consistency of cake batter. That's probably a better and more accurate one. So Greek yogurt and cake batter, I think, have like a similar texture though. I don't know. I don't eat yogurt. I hate yogurt. It makes me nauseous so much. But I used it. I put it on my hair, slathered it right on to my hair. Make sure to section your hair. And I really love the results. You can actually go ahead and check my Instagram at The Life of Lex Podcast if you want to see the curl definition that this hair mask did give me. It was very, very nice. It was really good. I left it on my hair for probably about 20 to 30 minutes and then I just washed it out. I washed it out in the shower and it wasn't that hard to wash out. Also, the smell of the vinegar was not super strong either. I know some people are like, I can't use apple cider vinegar. It just smells so strong. But I actually don't have like a smell sensitive nose like that. So, I mean, if it's, I don't know, to me personally, it didn't smell super strong in my hair, but it was good. The one thing I will tell you is that you cannot let the mask dry on your hair. It will dry your hair out. So you have to make sure to put a plastic bag on top of your hair. You can't just let your hair sit out, like sit out into the air. You have to put a plastic bag on your head because that will make sure that the mask doesn't dry. So it's my experience with bentonite clay. I really like it. I highly recommend trying it, and let me know what you guys think about bentonite clay and hair masks if you guys have ever used one. So those are the good things. Now on for the week. Ooh, Nelly. There has been some interesting things going on this week. So, let's just jump right into it. First and foremost, y'all President Donald Trump, because he is not my president. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't need some, well, you know what? He is the president, so you better just accept it type assholes on my shit. Because he is not my president. I do not care to recognize that he is a valid person in my orbit. He just is not. I will remember these 4 years because we aren't even going to speak it that he's going to get any more than that. I'm just going to remember these 4 years as like a weird glitch in the Matrix that like never happened, and that's just going to be that. But no. In all honesty, the latest thing that has been going on, I'm sure if you keep up with the news on any level, is that there's children, many children who are being put into detainment centers, aka concentration camps. They're being ripped away from their parents because, you know, their parents may be undocumented. And these kids are being treated like legitimate animals. Like, actually, I think there's more laws against animal abuse than there is towards this kind of abuse that's happening to these children. I mean, when you're seeing pictures of kids sitting in cages, kids that are cold, shivering in the dark, you know, naked. Some of them don't even have clothes on. They're sleeping on concrete floors with foil blankets. And you know, the Trump administration is just cool with it. There's been interviews where people from his administration have been laughing when asked about this. Literally laughing that these babies, I mean, we're talking about kids who are like 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old. You know, some kids that are so young, they can probably barely even form a cohesive sentence yet. And they're already in these camps by themselves without their parents. Like, why am I seeing pictures of children in cages? You know what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing. It is not okay to treat, you know, undocumented immigrants badly who are adults. I do not believe that. I don't believe that it's okay to treat someone badly because of their status. And I feel that it's especially heinous and disgusting when it's a child. Like, I just feel like the fact of the matter that we have grown adults sitting here and saying that it is okay to treat a child like this is so sickening to me. And it's just, I don't know. People say that this is the greatest country on the planet and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, is it really? Is it really? Because the American justice system, the American, you know, just government, I can't even think of the words I'm saying right now because this is making me very distraught because the fact of the matter that we're seeing children treated like this is really just, it's just hurtful. And the thing is, I've never been a Trump supporter. Anyone who knows me knows I've been very vocally open that I hate Donald Trump and I want him to be impeached. I do not like him. I think he is an awful person. The way he treats everybody who is not a rich white male is disgusting. I don't know how any woman, how any person of color could ever be a Trump supporter. It is beyond me. I think you played yourself if you are. That's your choice and your business, but you really played yourself. because he is disgusting. He's disgusting, and he thinks that this is a joke. Like, I swear he thinks being president is a joke. He's just up in there laughing. He thinks this is like his fucking flop ass reality television show. Like, nobody has the time. But all I know is that I'm tired. Okay, I don't think that a person should be treated like garbage because they're undocumented. I think that a lot of people do not grasp how difficult it is to get citizenship to the United States. Some people are coming from desperate conditions, and sadly, there's this dream of this country is sold to them, and they feel like they have so many better options. Little do they know that, unfortunately, it's not as great here as people really think it is, especially for people of color. It's just not a great place. But when you're living in whatever country, Mexico or whatever country that you're traveling the border from, it's like in these countries, this dream of this country is sold to these people, and they really are desperate to get something better. They're desperate to come from poverty or a situation where they're struggling, situations where they might be making $10 a week. People really are made to believe that there is so much good over here. And I don't, like I said, I think a lot of people talking and who are for this kind of immigration reform and all of this stuff don't even realize how difficult it is to get full citizenship to this country. It is very difficult to get a visa, to get a green card, to get your citizenship. It's not easy. And being that I know, like, family members, I mean, my goodness, my own mother had to get citizenship to this country. So, I mean, believe me when I tell you, like, it's not an easy scenario. It's not an easy situation. I have family members who are trying to get citizenship. It's not easy. And the process can take some people years and years and years. There are people who will gain their citizenship after 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I mean, you hear these stories all the time. It's not like you could go walk up into an office in the United States and say, hey, I want to become a citizen, and then get your papers. The reason why people travel the border is because they realize and know that it's so difficult to be able to get that. They probably have family or other people they know who have attempted the process, maybe even been rejected for citizenship, and they know that this is their only option, that this is their big break. Like, yeah, of course it's not great to sneak into a country, but like, let's keep it a stack. It's not like people who don't have their citizenship are not like paying taxes or things as such. And please don't give me that rhetoric that they're bringing crime and drugs into this country, because you know what, y'all little rich white people with your heroin and stuff are bringing drugs into this country, my friend. So don't get me started on that, because okay, yeah, maybe there are immigrants who are bringing drugs into the country, and maybe that is happening, sure, but also Lil Robert at his frat house is probably bringing drugs into this country as well. So I don't want to hear it. Anyways, it's like, I just feel like people are so ignorant and so insensitive. Immigrants are stealing our jobs? Where? What jobs? You mean the jobs that y'all don't want to do? You mean the jobs that you guys think you're too good for? You mean jobs like being a janitor, being a maid, being a cleaner, working in fast food, or working in customer service? You mean those jobs? The jobs that you guys weren't going to want to do anyways, but still expect to have extra clean bathrooms, extra fast food, Like, miss me with it. Like, I'm tired of these narratives about immigrants. Imagine hating somebody so much because they are from a different country. And then imagine going as far as to hate them so much that you're going to strip their children away from them, put their children in a concentration camp here, and shoo them away back to their country. At the very least, if you're going to shoo them out, let them take their kids. Like, what is wrong with them? And you have people who are literally crying and distraught because they have no idea where their kids are. And then you have their kids being treated badly, shivering cold on the floor, being treated like dang dogs. Like I said, there's more laws against dog abuse than there is against these poor children. And it's like, I'm tired. When you hear, like, when you have people tweeting and saying on social media, hey, ICE is in this area, you better be careful. The fact of the matter that anybody can be stopped by ICE, and hey, you better have something to prove that you're a citizen, because if they suspect that you're not, especially if you're a person of color, you could be in some big trouble. It's a scary world out there right now for everybody who's not white. Like, for keeping it a stack. Because ain't no white person gonna be stopped on the side of the road and asked if they're a citizen. But any person of color, black, Hispanic, Latino, anybody, it's a scary world out there for us. Like, that's all I got. But these kids, it hurts my heart, because yes, it's very hurtful to see with adults, and that was already heart-shattering for me. But then when we're talking about little babies who don't even know better, my God, they didn't choose to jump the border. Why are they being treated like animals? And I'm not saying that their parents should be treated like animals, but I feel like the kids are the most innocent people in this entire equation. Why are they being treated like this? Okay, the fact that these detainment centers look just like concentration camps. I mean, if you look at the pictures, it's eerily similar. So, with all of this, I guess the biggest thing that I can say is that there is a fundraiser that's going around on Facebook. I will try to find the link and link it in the bottom show notes. Please check it out. And I'm about to go donate to this fund. I believe you can donate $25, $50, $100, or 150 or 250. And I do please urge and advise you guys to donate if you can. This is really, really getting to a point where it's a lot. It is way, way, way too much that this is the way that these kids have to be treated. It is getting way too much that this is going on to kids, and they're struggling and suffering because of what? And the fact of the matter that you think a human life can be treated this way is so sickening. But someone can go to a whole prison because they abused a dog. And do not get me wrong, I do not support animal abuse, so I don't want anybody to twist my words. Don't say that I support animal abuse, because I think animal abusers are pieces of shit. But okay, if we're talking about an animal versus a human, I'm pretty sure there should be heavier laws against abuse of humans, especially human children. That's what I'm saying. So, how do we move on from this? When I say move on, how do I talk about something different now? I just got myself extra worked up on this podcast about ICE and how gross they are. Okay, also, Melania went to visit the border, and she wore a jacket from Zara that said, I really don't care, do you? And honestly, I'm tired. Y'all need to shut up about, it was just an accident. When she's a 57-year-old woman, I think. Like, I think she's pretty up there. You're a 57-year-old woman wearing a $30 coat from Zara. First and foremost, it looks like she went to Forever 21, was like, oh yes, that's one, and then put that shit on and was like, yup, this is it. And now, I really don't care, do you? Like, sis knew that was on the back of her coat, and when I say sis, I mean bitch. She knew that was on the back of her coat. She knew that was going to be seen by everybody. She knows how this works by now. She knows that pictures are taken. She knows that everybody's going to analyze what she's doing. Do you really think it wasn't intentional? Y'all gotta wake up and smell the coffee. Some of y'all are too naive for my liking, and I'm like, you need to wake up and realize everything is a statement. Why would she be wearing a $30 coat that says that unless she was trying to make some kind of statement? Why? I mean, it's just sad, it's just really sad that this is the kind of energy that these people have, and they really think it's funny. I'm tired of the narrative that, like, Donald Trump is, like, holding Melania hostage and, like, blink twice, Melania, if you want us to save us, because, shut up. Melania knows what she's doing. Melania doesn't care. I mean, yeah, Melania is happy that she's rich, but she supports her husband. Melania has never spoken out about anything. Melania has never proven that she's, like, this secret liberal who, like, is just being, no, Melania doesn't care. Gosh, if Melania's getting that $5 million allowance a week, she cool. Like, if we're keeping it a stack, and that does not make her better than anybody else. That does not make her better than anybody in that administration. And it's just sickening to me that this is what it's funny to them. It's really funny. So what I would urge all of you guys to do is to please go ahead and donate to the charity that is going around. I will find the link off of Facebook and I will post it down in the bottom bar. If you can't donate, I would at the very least ask that you guys share it, because I don't know what else can be done, but I hope that to some degree this money is helping. I mean, $18 million, I believe, was raised the last time I saw it. So, I mean, I hope it does something. I really hope it does something. I hope they can bail the kids out of the detention center, whatever that money is being raised for. I really do hope that it's going to be able to reunite kids with their families. Because even though Trump passed that bill this week about, not allowing families to be ripped apart anymore at the border, there is no indication that anything is going to happen to the kids already there. There's no indication that the kids that have already been in these centers for a while are going to be let go. These parents have no kind of indicator that they're going to find out where their kids are. So if you think that's doing something good, you must be mistaken. You must be. Because obviously he's doing it because people are talking. Because people are talking shit. And he has to look as good as he can. So that is my... Okay. XXXTentation. Is that how you say his name? X? I don't know. But anyways, he passed away this week. And I'm just saying, y'all is some fake asses. Because first and foremost, when he was alive, everybody was like, oh, he's an abuser. We don't like him. We don't support him. We don't care about him. Whatever. He can just be canceled. But all of a sudden, when he passed away, everybody was like, oh my gosh, he was so great. Oh my goodness. He was such a ray of light. Oh my God. All he wanted to do was good. I'm like, did this man not abuse his girlfriend, his pregnant girlfriend, to the point where she may lose her eye? And he's abused other people. He's tweeted very homophobic things. And y'all is some fans of him now? It just doesn't make logical sense. I feel like y'all just talk for social media, and I wish that you wouldn't. Like, if you don't care about these topics, if you don't care that a man is an abuser, then that's fine. The fact of the matter that there's been people literally defending him, saying he was only 20, he just made a mistake in abusing his girlfriend. It's like, what? Like, domestic abuse is a mistake? Well, thank gosh I never went through that phase, because that's crazy. Like, y'all are really crazy that you're really, truly thinking that because he's young, that gives him a pass to being an abuser. I'm like, an abuser is abuser. I don't care if you're 15 years old or if you're 30 years old. You're an abuser, and that is just the tea. And like, I'm not celebrating his death like that. I'm not that kind of person. But it's not like I'm about to come on some, oh my God, he was great. I loved his music. Like, no. I'm not sure why. It just doesn't make sense. The outpouring of love for this guy has really taken me aback this week, because I'm like, wow, I thought y'all hated him. I thought y'all really were not a fan of him. You thought he was an abuser. You thought he was disgusting, that he should be canceled. And as soon as he dies, you guys just, y'all flip the switch. This is why I don't like social media at all, because y'all just talk for social media. There was something going around that his girlfriend had went to court and admitted that was all a lie. I'm like, that's not true. Because if she went to court and said in a court of law that she testified against somebody and it was false, she would be in court in jail for perjury. You cannot go into court and lie under oath and then go back and say, yeah, just kidding, I lied, that wasn't true. She would be in jail. So I do not believe for 1 second that is what happened, because she's not in jail. Like, she ain't say that, okay? I will say that his girlfriend, she was upset though. She like was on the Shade Room, which is my new favorite news source on Instagram. I get all my news off the Shade Room because I'm a little too obsessed with celebrities and what they're doing with their lives. But she was on the Shade. There was a video of her on the Shade Room crying because she brought some stuff to his grave or his vigil, and his fans burned it, which no comments. I have no comments on that entire situation. But she also was like, I'm not happy he's gone. I'm torn apart. And I was like, what? You're torn apart that your abuser? I mean, but listen, at the same time, a lot of people who get abused get trapped into a cycle and they still love the person and they still care about the person, and it's unfortunate, but um you know, all I have to say is that, of course, I don't ever believe that a 20-year-old should be shot to death and end their life. I would have rathered him probably be in jail, rotting away for being an abuser, but it is what it is, and it is an unfortunate situation, and I just think also violence is so heavy in the streets, and things need to calm down. That's really what I gotta say on that one. Oh, I seen on social media some girl was like, smoking weed while you're pregnant isn't actually unhealthy, right? And I was like, what? Y'all potheads be on something else. Okay, yes, like we get it that THC is not an addictive substance, so it's not like your baby's gonna come out with withdrawals because you smoked weed, but like, how can you tell me that huffing any kind of smoke in a large quantity into your body while being pregnant is not unhealthy? Like, I'm just trying to get y'all's line of logic because I don't think smoking anything, whether it's a cigarette, weed, whatever, is really healthy while having a child in you while being pregnant. So that's a no for me. I'm gonna say that that's what we not gonna do. And yeah, um, but after a quick pause, I'm just gonna go on to my little thing about how black girl nerds exist too, and how black women aren't a freaking monolith. So we're gonna take a little bit of a breath because I am heated, honey. I don't know about y'all. Okay, so my rant this week is about how black women nerds exist too. Because I feel like there's this stigma that a lot of black male nerds have that they don't like black women because black women always want a hood nigga, or black women always want some kind of thug, or I use thug in quotes, whatever the case may be. Like, black women want someone like that, and that black women don't even pay attention to black male nerds. And I'm like, you do realize that there's a lot of black women who are nerds who literally get overlooked and passed over to the side for Sally Mae, and I'm just tired because there are black women out there who like anime, who like superheroes. I'm trying to think, like, what it even constitutes being nerdy. I don't know. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, they like anime, they like superhero movies, they like things like that. And there's plenty of them out there. But black male nerds, a lot of them I found have this complex where they feel like they're like better than black women, that black women are the bottom of the totem pole. And honestly, a lot of them have a complex that is very similar to white people when it comes to black women. I have actually had a couple of black male nerds tell me, because they thought I was like the acceptable black girl that they could tell it to because I'm not loud and I'm not this, which, please, if you ever believe as like a black person, a white person, I don't care what race you are, if you ever believe that you could come to me and talk about black people because I'm quiet and I'm not going to say anything and that I'm going to agree with you, please don't tell it to me, because I am not your black person who's on your side. I'm not your token black person that you can talk about black people to in a negative fashion, because I ride for black people, okay? Regardless of how I act, regardless of what it may seem, I ride for black people, and I will not tolerate anyone ever telling me that a black person is this or that. So anyways, just a side note. But Yeah, I've had black male nerds literally tell me they don't like black women because they're too loud and disrespectful or whatever the case may be, or that they always want, a hood nigga, which who made this up? Like, I see this on social media all the time too. This idea that all black women want like a hood nigga who's committing hella crimes, who has a gun in his pocket all day. And I'm like, who told you guys this? Like, where did you guys get this from? Like, y'all really swear that it's like, I swear people just start things up because you're trash and people don't like you, and then you have to blame it on something else other than the fact that it's actually that you're just a trash individual and that's why black women don't want you. It's insane to me because I mean, not everybody wants that. Not everybody's trying to live that lifestyle. And there's plenty of black women who would love to have somebody who they could talk about their comic books with and all of that kind of stuff. Like, y'all are so close-minded and one-track minded when it comes to black people. And I just feel like over the span of my life as a black woman, there's been so many people who have told me, you're an Oreo. Oh, you don't even like being black, because I didn't act the stereotypical way that they expected a black woman or a black girl to act. And it's just been so, I've always been like, what? Why does it make me not want to be a black person because I'm quiet or because I act differently than your stereotype? It just has always been an uphill struggle because for some reason, black people are the only race that will assume you don't want to be black if you don't act a certain type of fashion. It's not like if a white person is extra loud, someone's like, oh my God, you don't want to be white, huh? It's just like, black people will be all up on you talking about you don't like black people, you think you're better than black people, and white people too. And I'm like, why can't a bitch just be who she is? Why can't I just be who I am? Why do I have to be something else just to prove to you guys that I love my race? Why? It's just too much. It's like, oh gosh, I'm really worked up after this episode, y'all. But it's just like, if you like white women, if you're a black male nerd and you like white women or whatever the case, if you like white people, if you like white men, white women, white people, just say you like white people. I mean, really, it's not that big of a deal. But don't be making up some false rumors about, how black women don't want you guys, how black women only want a hood nigga, how black women only want this and that, how black women clown you guys and make fun of you, because that, like, okay, yeah, maybe in an individualized situation that might have happened, but it's definitely not this widespread thing that black women are just like, I don't want a nerd, I don't want someone like that. I think black male nerds have this complex which is so toxic and so prejudiced against black women, and it's like, listen, just admit that you're garbage. Like, that's probably why no black women want you, because you're garbage, because you're rude, If it may be your personality that is the problem, it may be your attitude that is the problem, It's like, I just don't want to hear no more black male nerds trying to box up every black woman and say that we're not unique. And there's a lot of women out there who are nerdy. Shit, I consider myself to be nerdy. Like, it is what it is. And like, let's not sit here and act like black male nerds aren't still ogling and drooling over white girls or over light-skinned girls. Like, y'all don't still want the same girls that most black men want. I don't know why black male nerds act like they're any better when it comes to black women. Y'all still are prejudiced. Y'all still perpetrate colorism. Y'all still don't want a dark-skinned girl. So please miss me with it. And by the way, I feel like whenever I make things like this, I have to say, I'm not talking about everybody. I'm only talking about a select few but enough that I can make these comments. Okay? But that's not to say that I don't think every black male nerd that I think that every black male nerd is horrible and that every black male nerd is a jerk, because there's a lot of black male nerds who probably are struggling to find a black woman. And to you guys, just keep looking. There's a lot of black women out there who want a lot of different things. And don't just assume that because of stereotypes that all we want is one specific person, because we're all very unique, we're all very different, and we all have very different interests. So, what is my closing question for the week? My closing question for the week is going to be, what do you guys think is the biggest problem going on right now? It's a very broad question, but I just want to know what, in everyone's opinion, is the biggest issue that's going on right now. You can answer this question on my Twitter, which is Alex Addison with 1_ after Addison, or on my Snapchat, my Instagram at The Life of Lex Podcast. Please, please, please make sure to go follow my Instagram, because that is where I'm going to be promoting the podcast heavily now. I'm not going to really be using Tumblr like that anymore. I'm definitely going to be putting most of my focus onto Instagram. So please, 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 if you haven't already, go ahead and follow. And also make sure to subscribe on your platform of choice, whether it be Apple Music or whatever else you guys are listening on, or Apple Podcasts, excuse me. Thank you guys so much for checking out the podcast. We are not going to take a hiatus again. I was really fired up this episode, so I'm really sorry about that. But you know what? Sorry, not sorry, because you know what? If you know, this podcast is where I'm doing it for the culture. This is where opinions are going to be had. And if you don't like opinions, if you don't like controversial viewpoints, if you don't like me calling out the truth, then maybe you should go listen to another podcast. But thank you guys so much. I love all of you guys who are listening. I hope you have a fabulous week and enjoy your summer. And I will talk to you guys next week. Bye.